people always probably trip out because I know they came to me after people knew I was really good with friends with you and Steven. I'd have people come to me asking, how come you guys don't have anything for sale? And I told them, I was like, well, for one thing, they don't get animals to sell them. Like this is like their collection. They're like, they just love these animals, you know? I mean, and I told them not that they won't ever breed, but that's not their main, like, that's not why they get these things, you know, especially in the beginning. Like this was just about having really unique, diverse collection, because I think Forrest wanted to have like one of the nicest private zoos, right? Like that was his dream, zoo dreams, right? Have the private zoo, right?
Yeah.
Right. But like what I was trying to get at is that's not possible without the rodents, right? Because the rodents was sustaining all that and putting food on the table. And I mean, that's the business. Rodents is the business.
Rodent is a business.
Business.
Yeah.
And you guys are obviously blowing up. Like, you know, last year we talked about how freaking, you know, you guys fucking blew up because of COVID. You know, a lot of companies did. It's still looking like that now. You guys are having crazy ass blowout weeks. How are you guys maintaining with all that right now? Are you guys sometimes look around and say, damn, we need to expand? Or are you able to still give what you need to give without having to expand? What do you think?
Well, I feel like we're always expanding. We're always finding new crevices in the barn to put in new racks. So it's a constant growth. I would love to put up another barn. That would be amazing. But yeah, like this past week was horrendous because of the snowstorm that occurred out here.
Right.
And we had, I don't even know, at least 30 boxes that were already packed and ready to go, and they didn't pick our shipments up. So we ended up having to hold those outside. Well, it's semi outside. It's just got a roof covering, but an open door. So it's still cold. And it was fascinating because there was still some dry ice left in some of these boxes, because we had to open up every single box and re-ice them so that they could go out the following week. And that took up a lot of time.
Okay.
But just keeping up on it. It's a lot.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Dude, I mean, what's crazy is when you say about a lot, right? You know, I've talked to Steven, you know, shout out to Steven Cush, in which we'll get into Bubs in a minute. But I talked to like Steven, and he's like, you know, I tell, you know, we all know Steven works. Like he just goes like ham too much time. He needs to take a break, right? And I had an idea, but had a real idea when I went to go visit you guys. And I remember like, you know, Steven was kind of even like, I wouldn't say taking it easy, but he was more hanging out with me and like, you know, not, you know, but I could just see like how draining those days could be from having to jump from the rodents, right? Manage the rodent team, which by the way, your guys' team's solid. Good job.
They really are.
Shout out to Amanda, Mindy, Mark, and who's the other homeboy?
Brock, Nick, Jamie, Austin.
Brock.
Team.
All right.
Yeah.
The team that Cush and Des built. It's amazing. But yeah, man, you guys. Yeah. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot, you know, and but you know, it's something you can't do without passion, right? There's no way in hell you can do what you do without the love for it. And that's why I kind of respect it, because a lot of people come see my stuff and they're like, wow, how do you do it? And I'm like, man, I want more because how much I love it. And then if I ever wanted to get an idea on what it feels like to be maxed out, I just go over to Reptek and just be like, oh, okay, so this is what it would feel like.
Know you're passionate about rodents when you see a frozen bag, and you're like, damn, that's a nice looking bag. And you're just like over here judging the quality and who packs them and like how nice they look. And it's freaking awesome. I don't know. I definitely get in there and do every little job with everybody as much as I can. And so I'll put product away with Amanda. That's like her main job. And I'm just like, damn, look at that bag, or who did that one? Or it's fun.
I think it's a pride
when you're like, that's a nice looking rat.
Dude, I'm telling you right now too. I mean, you guys flex with the packing. You guys is packing professional. You're like, I love getting my cold-blooded cafe rodents because like just the time that and the way you guys put in just the packing it. I've seen other, I don't know any companies under the bus, but I've seen how some companies pack their shit and it's pretty miserable. So it's like, you know, I don't know, teach their own, but I know I'm a cold-blooded cafeer forever. That's just where it's at, because you guys put a lot of work into what you guys do, and you could tell. And I know there's a lot of people out there who fuck with cold-blooded cafe because they hit me up, they tag me, they tag Des. Dude, that's it, bro. Cold-blooded cafe is the wave, plain and simple.
Thank you.
Now let's get into more of you know, the animals, right? So you know, being that you guys are so diverse, you have so many different species. I know excuse me, I know Bubs probably knows the number right off the top of his head, but I'm gonna see if you do. How many species of reptiles do you guys keep all together?
Species is like 80 and 90.
Say that again.
80 to 90
species of reptiles. So we're talking lizards, snakes, and then obviously the alligators and whatnot, the caimans. Okay. Was it more at one point? Did you guys have over 100 at one point?
Probably.
Yeah. Because if I remember right, you know, there was, you know, I don't know if it was last year, but 2 years ago, but you know, there were some things that you were starting to move around and, like, you know, you guys let go of, right? Certain, because I mean, it wasn't too many, but I could have sworn I remember talking to Forrest and he said you guys had over 100 at one point.
I mean, the amount of Abronia, I would say that's probably true.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. And he had a lot of like one-off stuff, like different kind of, like a conehead lizards, like.
Oh yeah.
What did we need those for? I don't know. Like, we didn't do shit with them. They didn't breathe. They didn't do anything. They just sat around and ate crickets. But they were cool looking. They're like little aliens, and they were pretty cool. But that's one of the things we sold off. They
had like a little shield on their head type thing, right? It looked like a helmet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, sick. So okay, so now what want to get into is, like, you know, the stuff that I really vibe with that you guys have is like the chondros, right? We all love chondros, and you guys have, you know, you guys still have really nice chondros, but your guys' chondro collection was really big at one point, you know. Yeah. And when did that love really start? Because that chondro, you know, obsession started with Cody, right? Was that kind of a Cody Forrest thing, or did that start with let's kind of talk about that obsession with chondros and how that became a part of Reptek for a while.
Yeah, so I would say in 2006, 2007 is when Forrest and I met Cody, and we just had we were living in Las Vegas, and I can't remember, let's see, I think we got a green tree, and then when we met Cody, he was totally into him too. So then between the two of them, it just started becoming like, you know, hoarding, where they just got as many as they could because they loved them so much. So that goes way back.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Vegas, right? Those are like, that's Nevada Day, right? Nevada days.
I love Nevada. I would live there again. Yeah.
You would move to Nevada?
I would live there again, yeah.
Dang. I don't know, man. Nevada's raw. It's so hot. It's like, you know, I get how some people love, like my sister. Good.
Reno's not that bad because you're in the mountains and they actually get snow in winter, so they have more like season. Because that's where we started. We actually started in Truckee, which is on the California side of Lake Tahoe. And we lived there for a little while, and then we lived in Reno, and then we lived in Las Vegas.
So if someone were to say, Des, I could put you anywhere in the United States, have your damn barns, have Reptek, whatever the hell you want, where would you go?
Texas.
Okay. Shout to Texas.
Yeah.
We love Texas. Yeah. Okay. Cool.